Hello everyone, welcome to the 140 Q&A practice. We're going to start off with defense questioning. Ready? Let's see if we can clean that up a little bit. Could it have been St. Mary's Desert Valley Hospital? Does St. Mary's sound familiar? St. Mary's, I think, is in Apple Valley, or no? Okay, how many bone scans did you have? 1. Counsel, do you want to stipulate that that was St. Mary's? You know, quite frankly, Your Honor, I'm not sure. My mom knows. I'd like to look at the records to be absolutely sure if that's where the bone scan was. Okay, that's no problem. Let's take a 10-minute break. Off the record, back on the record. Continue, counsel. You saw Dr. Billick because your mother works for him. Had you treated with Dr. Billick at any time before this accident? When I was ill, I went in there to see him. Do you know what kind of doctor he is? He's pretty good. No. Does he have a specialty? Oh, I don't know. Does he do pediatrics? Pediatrics is children. No, I've never. You don't know if he has a specialty? I've seen him with old people. Dr. Mackay, and for the record, I believe that's spelled M-A-K-A-I. Had you ever seen Dr. Mackay before this accident? No. What did you see him for? Why'd you see him? To see what was wrong with my back. And your mother took you to see him? Yes, he works in the same building. As Dr. Billick? Yes, or he worked in the same building. When you saw him, he was in the same building? Yes. Dr. Kearney, I think that's C-A-I-R-N-E-Y? No, I don't know. Well then, yeah. Dr. Kearney, had you ever seen him before this accident? No. What did he do to you? He cracked my back. Is he a chiropractor? Yes. And then you said you went to a hospital. Did you go to a hospital to have the bone scan done? Yes. Did you go to the hospital at any other time during this accident, after this accident, for anything other than the bone scan? I don't really remember. I just seen him once before to get the bone scan. You saw a doctor before you actually had the bone scan done? I might have. Were there any other doctors that you had seen? Yeah, I know there's more, but I don't know their name. Did you see any other chiropractor other than Dr. Kearney? Dr. Mackay, and he cracked my back. When was the last time you had your back cracked from this accident? I believe it was around a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. From today? I couldn't. No, a month ago from today? From today? Is that what you mean? Around that time, yes. So you've been in there in maybe August or September? I know it's not September. Who did you see? Dr. Mackay. Is he the only doctor that you're still actively treating with? Yes. When you say doctors, do you want me to tell you about like physical therapy and... Sure, any treaters from the accident. Okay, I went for physical therapy down in Riverside on Brockton. Or do you want me to tell you how long? Sure. Okay, I went there for, I'd say 3 months, and then I stopped. I'm just guessing at how long, and then I stopped for a little while because I went back down. See, I was on vacation, and that's why I went down to Riverside for physical therapy, but when I was up here before that one, I went to one but my mom's stairs at my mother's work. They started using something on me they aren't supposed to. Does your mother still work for? Yes. Dr. Billick? Yes. And then the physical therapist you said was upstairs from his office? Yes. But you don't remember the name of the therapist? No. And you said they did something that they shouldn't have done? Yes. What was that? They used, I don't know the name. Describe it to us. It's round and then it goes like this and then it rubs your back, but they say that it ruins your back if you use it. So we stopped going there once we found out. Was it electrical stimulation? They had it plugged in. Okay, how long did you have that therapy upstairs from your mother's work? I'd say around 3 weeks. All right, so I'm going to switch transcripts. All right. Okay, this is going to be defense as well. Ready? I see. And you were at the Flamingo from 10 or 11 until 2? From 11 until around 15 to 2. Was the Flamingo the only bar that you went to? Yes. During the course of the time that you were at the Flamingo, you were with Robert Carrillo. Is that right? Yes. During the time that you were there, was there some problem with respect to Mr. Carrillo and another female? Objection. The question is irrelevant. I think it's relevant. Overruled. Okay, during the course of the time that you were at the Flamingo, was there some incident involving Robert Carrillo with some girl or woman other than yourself? No. Well, he was trying to get me mad, you know, but we had been fighting since during the day. I missed it. The reason I went to my cousin's house is because I was going to take him over there, you know. I missed something you said. While you're at the Flamingo bar, did Robert have some contact with some other female other than yourself? No. Well, while you were, at any time that evening, whether or not you were inside the Flamingo bar, was there some occasion on which some former girlfriend of Robert's approached him, put her arm around him rather? Yes, it was my cousin. Your cousin was the female? Yes. Was your cousin at the Flamingo bar? They went with me. I see. Then was it your cousin or some other woman the source of some sort of argument between you and Robert? No. You didn't get in an argument with Robert over another girl? When we were going home, on the way home, I started to argue with him. You weren't arguing about it on the way home from the bar? Yes. Okay, well, is what you were arguing about, was that over your cousin being too friendly with Robert? No, not really. Well, was there some other woman involved or just your cousin? Just my cousin. All right, so you argued with Robert about that? I guess some other things too. And when you left the bar on your way home, were you somewhat under the influence at that time? On the 4 beers I drank? I couldn't quite hear you. Do you feel that you were under the influence at that time? No. So it's your recollection that you were sober at that time? Yes. Well, when you were on the way back to your neighborhood with Robert, was there some occasion when during this argument where he hit you? Yes, he did slap me. And were there also occasions after you left the bar that evening where you were cursing Robert, yelling at him, etc.? Yes, I was. I was yelling at him because I wanted him to get out of the car. Then did you let him off in the area of First and Main? Yes. Was it just before that where he had hit you and where this argument had become worse? Yes. And when you let him out, when he got out, did you yell to him, continue with some words back and forth? No. Well, after Robert got out of the car, how was it that the car broke down? No, I drove to Cypress Street and I turned right on Cypress, and that's when my car stopped. You went one more block after letting Robert out? Yes. Did he continue on foot towards Cypress Street? Was he on First, walking the same? No, he went down Main to Walnut, I guess. Now, if you drove from Main to Cypress and turned at Cypress, are you telling us that Robert was then on Main Street? Yes. You drove one block to Cypress. Were you outside any particular store there? What? When you drove this one block to Cypress, were you outside any particular store then? I don't remember. All right, and that concludes our Q&A practice for the 140 class.